Hi guys, today I am on the way to the Brockton Garden Club sale and I'm gonna see what they have and, get some new additions. Here we are. The green stock planter is absolutely loaded. And I absolutely love these Johnny Jump violas. I will be doing this again next year. Let me give you guys a little spin. I started already putting my peppers in, some Thai chili peppers. But look at this. Chinese broccoli, cauliflower broccoli. We have kale. And they look a little sad right now, dehydrated, but it is going to rain tonight, so that's going to save me on watering. David Austin Rose, James L. Austin, I think, is doing well. It has some buds, and you can see that the geraniums and the nasturtiums are bulking up. Now, one of my planters on my balcony, excuse the geese in the background, tipped over. I think maybe the dogs tipped it over, and the Johnny Jump violas went all over the place. But the star of the show in this planter has been the stalk, and oh my god, I need to grow this every year. I just love how it smells, and it's so dainty. Right here in back of my vinyl fence, I have a Charlene de Monaco rose and Pinktopia rose. And these are bulking up as well. They have a lot of buds. So I've been working on a new garden, and this new shade garden is in back of the vinyl fence path where my pathway to my balcony is. And this new garden bed is obviously a shade garden bed, and I didn't know what plants I was going to fill up here, but one thing happened is that I went to the garden club sale, and in that garden club sale I was able to grab all the things that I wanted for this garden. I also had some roses that I had to move, so even though roses don't do well in shade, I do have this rose here. It's called Modern Blush, and it's doing great actually. But I wanted to give you a tour on what I ended up grabbing at the garden club, and they were perfect additions for this little shaded garden that I'm starting to build. So I didn't know that there were so many lily of the valleys, I believe, variations. But anyways, I got a miniature one, and it's so cute. It's all flowered up. I have a heuchera that the chickens tried to get to, and a still bee that I was able to divide in 3, and you'll see it scattered around this garden bed. Here is the Modern Blush Rose. This beautiful hosta that has dark green outer variegation, which is cute. Love it so much. I usually see the other way around, but I have some lupine, epiprinium, I believe it's called. It's a shade plant. Can't wait. And some heuchera and chrysanthemum. Here is the front garden bed. Now that all of the tulips and daffodils have kind of petered out, the time for the roses and the bearded iris as well as the lilies are starting to make their appearance, and soon they will be stealing the show. We have some feverfew, penstemon, and bearded iris, and right in back of that is a delphinium that returns every year for me. As you can see, the roses are ready to go. I feel like in a couple of weeks they will be good to go. The heucheras have gotten massive. This is caramel heuchera, and I just love the transitional color that it provides. It starts out this kind of strawberry blonde color, and then it starts getting more and more yellow. The alliums, their time is now. And I don't know how I feel about the alliums. I think that they're very charming and provide a little element to the garden, but I feel like over time they peter out, and this year I started to add different kind of alliums. This one came from Home Depot, and it's definitely a shorter and later blooming allium. We have the stalk that really didn't get too big. My mistake, but I definitely feel like I want to grow it in pots and not in the landscape. My summer wine 9 bark is fully loaded with buds, and it will bloom in a matter of days. I just hope that it stands hold for this rain that's coming. That's pretty much gonna wipe out all of my flowers, but you know, that's how it is in the garden. I have Anna's Magic Ball here next to my cherub and a hardy geranium, and I just love this little arborvitae. I want to get a few more to put around the garden. I just am getting more into planting evergreens for winter interest. Look at how beautiful the candy corn spirea is getting now that it's warming up. Gorgeous. This chartreuse yellow. This is double play Uzi. Is starting to put out its buds. Now this beauty right here is my new David Austin Skeptical de Islay. I don't know how you say that really, but it is absolutely beautiful. I wanted a tree rose to put next to this bench that I have next door, and I definitely think that I made the right choice. I was gonna get another pink double knockout, but I'm like, you know, why not put the extra money and just get myself a David Austin rose that smells beautiful? And I do not regret it. It is completely loaded, and it is just so beautiful. And I planted it here with a hardy geranium called Espresso, which has this kind of burgundy foliage, as well as a variegated bearded iris that blooms purple. And I have some zinnias that I planted throughout, so I can't wait for this little garden circle bed that I planted up to really bloom and this rose to continue to grow. In terms of my planters here next to the bench, these Johnny Jump violas really have stole the show this year. I start them by seed every year, and they do not disappoint this year. I started them extra early, and they are doing wonderful. And I have in here a Vanity Verbena, Bonnieriensis, and I can't wait. Supposedly it's a more compact verbena, Bonnieriensis, and I can't wait for it to take over this planter with the Dusty Miller. I just love purple and that silver foliage. This beauty is Frappe Bearded Iris, and look at how gorgeous it is. It has an orange tongue and this light pink blush that goes to white. Beautiful. It's in front of my Vertugical David Austin rose. I hope that I'll have some beautiful blooms together, but it's going to rain for the next couple of days, so it might not look so hot, but I love it. I love this bearded iris. Bearded irises, for me, it's one of those things that I've taken some time to get going in my garden, but now I'm starting to see them really bulk up. As you can see back there, I don't think that those are going to flower this year, but I messed around with them last year, but who knows. And just hiding Back there is some snapdragons. Let's Dance Can Do hydrangea is fully loaded with buds. I can't wait till it flowers. This really came back strong this year, and I'll show you what didn't come back strong this year. This is what did not do well in my garden this year. This hydrangea was stunning last year. At this time, it was fully loaded with buds, and I actually went in and chopped all the dead stalks to where I saw some growth, but they definitely took a hit this winter since it was very cold and windy. My peonies are here, and it looks absolutely gorgeous with my little statue. My Mullinex David Austin rose is fully budded up as well, and this is a beautiful yellow rose that smells of myrrh, if that's how you say it, but it's just divine. Look at the blooms on this Euphorbia Ascot Gold. It's absolutely gorgeous. They're like little aliens. Love it. And it pairs well with the cat's pajamas, Nepeta. And then over here, I have two different varieties that I do not know what they are, but they kind of give an ombre effect. One is darker purple and the other one is a little bit lighter. So it gives like an ombre. The roses are completely budded up, and it'll be a matter of a few days for them to really start kicking in. This year I'm keeping it simple in the front of the house, and I have a boxwood with some Dusty Miller, some Creeping Jenny. There's a little yellow Creeping Jenny there, but I just replicated this on this side as well. Look at the clematis though. Beautiful, beautiful clematis that gets bulkier every year. And I actually interplanted it with another clematis type 2. I showed you that in another video. Sweet shrub right here. And then the peonies are fully loaded with buds. And you can see the ants right there. So they're ready to bloom any day now. I'm hoping that they'll stagger because it is going to rain the next few days, so they'll flop heavily. Look at this bearded iris next to my Limelight Prime standard hydrangea tree. And this beautiful bearded iris is called Struck Twice. Took a little damage, I think, because it rained a couple days ago, but it still has a bunch of blooms ready to unfurl. And in the bottom I have some penstemon growing. Now on the other side, which I have a matching Limelight hydrangea, I have this bearded iris who is really going to steal the show. And it is called Entitled. It's looking a little orange. So I'm not sure. We'll see if this is actually the right iris, but it's supposed to be Entitled. And there's another one that is one iris that a friend shared in their garden. But I'm looking at it more and more, and I'm like scared that it's gonna be orange. This is my shade garden located next to my shed, and this is more kind of on the side, the front side of the house. And I'll take you along this area. This is a newly bed that I created last year, and there's a bearded iris that's poking through there. My Spirea Van Hoot was blooming gorgeously, and it is finishing up, but it was just so gorgeous. I moved it and it kind of didn't do well, but now it is bouncing back. It's putting on a whole bunch of new growth, and right in back of that is my purple smoke bush, and it is going to flower this year, so I can't wait to see that dusty flower. The oak leaf hydrangea, I don't know if it's budding up, but it's looking gorgeous. It's putting on some size. I think it's finally established here. I thought I was going to lose it. And it's next to the ivory dogwood. It's gorgeous.